Atul Chaturvedi joining now, Executive Chairman Shree Renuka Sugars on the phone line in this exclusive conversation on a day when this entire pack is completely zooming. Mr. Chaturvedi, thank you so much for speaking with us here at NDTV Profit. Just to quickly get a sense from you, what is the extent of benefit you see from the government circular yesterday which has lifted restrictions on ethanol blending?
Oh, very good morning to you. In fact, this circular which has come from the government actually now reflects that they have a reasonable amount of confidence that the next year's crop is going to be pretty good. And the rain gods have been kind to India, and there's no reason why the crop should not rebound big time. In fact, ISMA, our national body, has also come up with a number which is much higher than what it was last year. So that gives us the confidence that the next year, the diversion of sugar towards ethanol is going to be much higher. And this year it was only about 3.2 million tons. Next year we are looking at about 4.5 to 5 million tons. And we also feel that our long-standing demand of raising the ethanol price to the level of what the maize ethanol is would be met. Maize ethanol is at around 72 rupees a liter and cane juice ethanol at around 65. So all these things hopefully should augur well for the industry. The other demand which the industry has been having for quite some time is the revision of the minimum selling price, which was fixed at around 31 rupees way back about 5-6 years back. Even though the FRPs have gone up, the same has not got reflected in the MSP. So we feel, and we also request the government that they should institutionalize it. Whenever the FRP goes up, simultaneously minimum selling price also should go up. And let me repeat that our Prime Minister has been talking about reducing sugar consumption and edible oil consumption. One way of doing that is by increasing the price of those commodities. So why should we be fighting shy of increasing the prices?
Yeah, it's a fair point. Mr. Chaturvedi, just a follow-up to that, assuming, and you've pointed out that the diversion of stock towards ethanol is going to be higher in the next year, and so therefore can we assume broadly, directionally, realizations overall will go up and that bodes well for earnings per se?
There's no reason why it should not. And we also hope that the price of ethanol would get revised upwards. And higher crop definitely means better times for the sugar sector, which has been grappling with lower numbers. In fact, last year's crop numbers were woefully low. At the gross level, it was closer to about 29 million tons. And this year, it could be anywhere between 34 to 35 million tons. So that should help give the required confidence to the government, as well as ensure that the capacity utilization of the industry is much better than what it was last year. In fact, in Maharashtra and Karnataka, the average crushing period had slumped to about 90 days because of lack of cane. This year, we feel anything between 120 to 130 days should be the number for crushing days. Yeah.
Mr. Chaturvedi, based on whatever capacities are on stream for you and for the industry right now versus what is coming up as well, because there was an expansion plan kicked off by multiple companies, is there capacity enough to meet ethanol demand if indeed the demand goes up to 20% at one go? It doesn't usually happen that way, right? The companies are slow in taking this off, but is there enough capacity?
No. I think there is enough capacity available, and the sugar sector itself is quite capable of supplying something like about 7 billion liters. For achieving about 20% blend, you require close to about 10 billion liters.
Yeah.
The sugar sector alone can supply 7 billion liters. So there's no reason why we should not be in a position to achieve 20% blending target.
Got it, sir. And will that come, sir, will that come at the cost of the sugar production itself? Could it be inflationary for sugar prices if indeed so much of crop is diverted to ethanol?
No, I don't think so, because whatever is getting diverted is surplus. Indian consumption story as far as sugar is concerned is closer to about 28 million tons. And if we are talking in terms of gross sugar production of anywhere between 34 to 35 million tons, plus the carryover of this year, so there's no reason why we should be worried in terms of the sugar inflation. There's no reason why we should be worried on that count. Absolutely no reason.
Mr. Chaturvedi, I think another piece of good news that has come in for your sector, apart from the government circular, is that the Supreme Court has thrown out the PIL, which challenged the E20 fuel with 20% ethanol blending. So that's clearly good. But my question to you is that there seems to be a lot of angst against adoption of E20 fuel. Do you see that as a concern? As more and more companies, including yours, look at this as an important product line?
I don't think we should consider this as an angst. In fact, right from the day one, we were sure that this is nothing but probably somebody, some association or somebody pushing their agenda via the social media. In fact, social media activism has become really menacing in our country. So you have a whole lot of armchair analysts and economists talking about ethanol without even knowing the spelling of the word ethanol. So that is the trouble. In fact, the Supreme Court was quite right throwing it out.
Sir, I understand where you're coming from, and maybe people who are commenting on it don't know the spelling of ethanol, but the people who have to buy the fuel need not know the spelling of ethanol to be agreeable to buy the fuel. So
No, at a personal level also, I've been buying petrol for almost, and my car is of pre-2023 vintage. So I think most of the automobile companies are aware of this issue, and they have all been geared up for that. In fact, there's no reason why the consumer should be actually fearing this. In fact, even in the court yesterday, the government attorney actually said that it is not the petitioner who's actually putting in this PIL. It is somebody behind him. So that also was said in the court yesterday.
Interesting.
So I think it's a motivated one. Yep.
So we've spoken about two aspects here, Mr. Chaturvedi. One is, of course, domestic supply of sugar and the diversion of stock to ethanol. The aspect that we have not yet spoken about is the exports. And I'm wondering what the implications are of what you've told us so far on sugar exports in the coming year. Will they go lower?
No, let me tell you, the government gave us an allocation of about 1 million tons for this current year, which is ending in October. Out of that, only about 7.5 or 800,000 tons of sugar has actually been exported, because the world values have been much lower than Indian values. So there was practically no export. So there's no reason about talking about export at this point of time. And with the Bihar elections also slated sometime in November, December, so I don't think on the export front too much is going to happen before maybe January. So I think to speculate that the exports will open up in November or December, I think it would be a little premature, because no government is going to be taking chances as far as sugar. And the crop is still not come into the bins. It will take another month or so, because the crushing season is going to start towards the end of October or maybe early November. So before that, I don't think anyone's going to take that decision. So I'm not too gung-ho on exports happening before January of 2026.
Okay. Mr. Chaturvedi, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.